All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. Awesome, we are live. Good, good, good. All right, well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So today we're going to wrap up our discussion. This week is a short week, so short discussion, but we're going to wrap up our discussion on day trading, the power of trend. And today we're going to talk about breakdown. So eventually the trend's going to end, and we want to know when that happens, right? So we're going to talk about that today. Before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about today is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, first we're going to take a look and see where we left off with the market today, and then we're going to look at the futures, see how they're behaving tonight. And then we'll go through the topic, and then we'll get to questions and chart requests. So here we go. Let's take a look. So here's the SPX. So one more trading day left in the month. We ended up down 6 points, but it was quite a 6 points, right? Considering how high we went today. But we're still over the monthly, the prior month's inside month. So we took the inside month up, right? We have a kind of a hammerish type candle forming here, relatively bullish so far. And nice follow through really from the lows off of the cloud and the moving average and the 50 monthly moving average here, and the trend line. So good stuff there. Weekly chart. Okay, so this is pretty cool stuff, right? We recently had a real big discussion about the 30 weekly moving average, right? And when we went over our series on profiting in bull and bear markets, and you see how well the 30 moving average holds over time, right? When things are bullish, right, we're above it. When it's a change in composure, we're below it, right? Bearish. So we broke below it here. We broke down with a Harami cross breakdown. And then we found a reversal right here. RSI got oversold. We had a bullish engulfing week, and then ended up drifting up here back to that 30 weekly moving average. Pretty impressive stuff. And we filled this gap here. Big gap above still from the Corona breakdown, the Corona crash. So we'll see if we can get there. So it helps that we got above the 200-day moving average yesterday. We had a great candle yesterday, a nice bounce off of the ADMA. Today we got a little fall through the upside. We gapped up and we tried to push. And then the tweets started coming out, right? And then there goes the market, right, back down again. So let's take a look here and see how that all ended up playing out here intraday. So here's our gap up here, and they faded the gap pretty quickly, right? So we had a quick bearish down move. So that kind of gave some sentiment at the open. It was like, wait a second here, what's going on, right? So it was definitely just a gap fade, and but it's pretty interesting. We saw some rotation out of some of the names that have been bullish recently, like the airlines and the banks and the financials, back into tech, right? So it's some strength in tech this morning. A lot of the go-to list, the FANG stocks, were pretty strong this morning, and that helped. Of course, Apple being strong too helped the market kind of grind its way up today. Now it was a grindy move up, right? It was tough to find some setups. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit, right? We kind of worked our way up here. And then we had this outside bar right here. We had the high of the day, right? And it was almost a let's see, the close here was 3067.66. The open here was 3067.65. So just a tick below there, almost a full bearish engulfing candle. But that kind of started the sentiment of a potential reversal. Now, typically things don't go in straight lines, right? And it took a little bit, right? We came down. We actually caught a short here intraday too, but it went right to target, right? It went right to where we're looking at, right into our support levels right here. And then we bounced off of that, and then it was, we're going to meet on China tomorrow, and boom, all the way to the downside. And we're going to, bash social media companies, so down at the end of the day. So it ended up flushing the market at the end of the day. And actually found some cool shorts here, of course, at the end of the day, too, on our live stream at the close. So good stuff there. These are the levels that we provide to our members before each market open. So you can see here what we were working with today. So really, really tight levels using yesterday's highs and close. Formed the 15-hour blow. Got to these next levels here, weekly level. Looked like we might try to reverse down off of it with a candle like this. Big upper shadow, right? But couldn't get any fall to the downside. So we chopped here, right? Ended up essentially being a flag right here. Worked our way up to the next level. Pulled back off of it and then moved up, right? And then we tested that level again, up, and then flush, right? And then we kind of just we pushed down into some other key levels that we deal with, but that we look at on the futures. But anyway, good stuff right here. A little bit of a bounce into the close, and that was that. So let's take a look at the futures, see how they're doing here this evening, see how it's going. So not so good, right? So they actually did a big bounce off of that at the close, right? And you can see what happened, right? We flushed down, right? And then we started to move back up, and then after hours, we pushed up a little bit more, right? And they just kind of chopped around up here, and then it was down, right? And so then we chopped around a little bit through some of our key levels, and we broke down below there, retested the 15-hour below from today, right, and kind of push down right now. So right now we are in a downtrend here this evening, and so here's the low, right, using our trends. Okay, there's a trend line right there, and we're testing that a few times right now. Inside 5 right now at this level. So let's see how well the futures. Whoa, I don't know what happened here with this. 1 second. Thought I'd tag that. So let's see how well the futures handle this this downward trend line throughout the night. But right now we're down 16 points, which is to me, probably an opportunity that the plunge protection team is going to use to buy the dip tonight. So we'll see where we end up in the morning. Right, it usually seems to be the case. But we'll see what they do if they decide to keep it down into tomorrow. So Friday, last day of the month, tomorrow, last day of the week. Keep in mind that we like to look at next week's options for one reason, so we don't get assigned, and two, because we don't have to deal with the Friday theta unless you like the Friday theta, which sometimes can be a good move with no theta there, right? But you got to catch a momentum mood if you're trading options on Friday. You got to, otherwise you could get really chopped up. So that's one of the reasons that we talk about that. Okay, so good. So today we're going to wrap up our discussion on day trading, the power of trend, and today we're going to talk about breakdown, right? So when's the trend over, right? It's great when we're trending up, everything's awesome, right? But then things start to break down. Well, it usually starts with one of those pullback days that we have already talked about this week. So let's go and take a look at Netflix. Okay, so Netflix really set up great this week. So let's take a look here. So let's take a look at Netflix. Let's go to the daily chart. See exactly what happened here. Okay. So decent uptrend, right, for a while. Right, worked its way up here, then it tried to break down, right, couldn't quite break down. So if we actually show where it was, the trend line was back then, right, we were here, right, so we started to break down. And that's one of the keys, right, so everything is super bullish, right, remember these days right here in Netflix, 3 huge, right, 3 white soldiers, 3 beautiful green trending candles to the upside. And then we kind of started to find some pullback days, right, so these are the days we got to be cautious with when this starts happening, right? Because what we like to look for is if this is happening, we want to see a pullback to the trend line, and we want to see it bounce off of that to show that trend is still being held, or have a quick bounce over the recent highs so we can just kind of shift the trend line a little bit and stay above the trend line, right? And so we didn't get above these levels until here, right? And so the trend line just shifts over then, right? But it was still bullish. It was trying to climb up the trend lines, and then this guy came into play, right? And you can see exactly what happened there, right? So a couple decent days right there, and then we had a couple more pullback days here, and then we finally broke through the trend line again with authority here with this day. And this is actually a pretty big deal, right, because it was big volume. So when we start to see this happening, right, if we go back here to the 21st, even back to the 19th. So let's go back on the 15-minute chart, and let's go back. Yeah, we're good. Let's go back to the 19th here on Netflix. Okay, so here's the 18th, right? So we had a nice day here today. This is ended up, we're still above the trend right here. In fact, even on our pre-market levels in the short-term time frames, we were bullish, right? We had a nice upward channel here through our pre-market levels. You can see that, how well that held over these days, right? So we pulled back here that morning, gave a nice inside 15 and worked its way up, came back, right? Pull back. Remember the pullbacks? We talked about that. Pull back to the 15-orb high and the AEMA and continue to work its way up that day. Next day was kind of a chop day, right? We need to pay attention to days like this. Days where it can't keep continuing, right, are days to take notice, right? So these, it wasn't an inside day, but very, very tight days like this, where kind of the whole day is like a triangle and it's really, really choppy. It shows that maybe, price is considering these levels like, I don't know. And then we had one more push here, but it couldn't hold. Remember, we want to look for those continuation days. You want it to continue on its way up, right? And even on a couple of these up moves here, right, we still showed some weakness, right, with the upper shadows. And then we stayed below it. And then it tried to rally again and couldn't get over those highs. It couldn't even stay above the 15-orb high, right? So that is where we start to look for that changing composure. So the trend is breaking down, right? And the next day, next day, inside 15 down, and we stayed below the 15-orb all day. Right? Trend is changing. You can see we even had this channel here that we like to use. We've talked about that here before. So that was bearish. And then we broke down below that channel. And then we continued our way down. And then the trend just continued its way down. Right? So that is where we look, right? And so that is exactly what happened here. When we go back to the daily chart, we started breaking down on those days, right? You can see exactly what happened. We had our trend box right here. That was your first breakdown day right here. And this day, we closed below it, right? And it wasn't until just a couple days ago, right? Just on the 26th, right? The first day of the week on Tuesday, right? That was that nice momentum move through here. And we had some members that did really well off of this that momentum move down, right? So that was great. And And that's where the trend changed, right? And so now we no longer have a trend box right now, and we are below a fresh downward trend line from the highs, and showing bearish action, right? So yesterday I had a good reversal opportunity, right? So occasionally, of course, we're going to see pullback days too in a downward trend, and then from here, of course, we're still below the downward trend line. We had a nice pullback here today, of course, with the rest of the market too, right? So again, got tight today, triangle breakout, right? Failed to stay above the 15-orb high for any significance, right? So the bears stayed in control, broke down through a couple key levels right here, here, retest, and then down. So the trend remains down on that one, and that, my friends, is the breakdown. Is how things start to break down. So now we're going to continue to monitor it and see where we're at. So Netflix bounced off the 50-day moving average yesterday, got a relief bounce, but stayed below the downward trend line. And we're going to say bearish, still proven otherwise, unless we break out above it, forward trend box, and break out above that, and start to work our way back up. So that is where we are. So good stuff. So that is that is the topic. So at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. We'll get through as many as we can, try to wrap up as early as possible, so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So wonderfully, Shirley sent in a few via email here. So let's take a look at those. So yeah, so strength today in the utilities, Shirley. I see you noticed that. So we've got D, Dominion Energy. So yeah, the utilities got strong today. So a little sector rotation into that today when the market was pulling back. Right, nice breakout candle day. Not a lot of volume to get me real excited about it. But the good news is it did form a fresh trend line. And we broke out of some levels right here. So let's continue to monitor these, see if they can have some strength going into tomorrow night. Also notice that you found knee. Okay, Nextera, right? So that is another beautiful breakout right here too. So fresh high over these levels right here, fresh trend line. And looking really good right here. I like the volume on that one, and I like what it's doing. So that looks really good going into tomorrow. So actually, let me add that on the list for Friday. So let's take a look here. 1 second. And quite a bit of earnings tonight too. So that should be pretty interesting as well. So so we'll see how that goes into tomorrow. So give me 1 second. Let me add one note on here. Okay, good. Yeah, so nice move up there on knee today. So good stuff. ECL, yeah, a little bit of strength in some of the materials today. So Ecolab, good volume today, good breakout over these levels, right? Really trying. Let's see if we can break out over these highs going into tomorrow. So nice chart set up on that one. Ecolab, and then Yum, yummy. So Yum working on a nice little cup and handle pattern right here. Right, here's your cup, here's your handle. So let's see if we can get a breakout. Let's get some more volume on that. See if I can break out as well. And then Zen. Yeah, decent candle today. Upper shadow here into some prior resistance, right? So a little bit of a cup and handle type pattern here. So see if we can get some follow through strength on that too. Great charts. Awesome. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's see. Let's look at Boeing. Let's take a look. Yeah, so Boeing. So great candle yesterday. Really started to break out of this whole range. Now, obviously, it still needs to get above this guy. But, big gap up and then a pullback today, and this didn't help with the rest of the market. As it turns out, nobody's really, they gapped up that, hey, we're going to be remanufacturing, we're going to start manufacturing our 737 MAX again. And it's like, oh, wait a second. Nobody's going to buy them, right? Because the airlines aren't flying. All their planes are grounded, and no one wants a broken airplane anyway. So it turns out it's been fading pretty nicely here after hours. And then also they announced like more layoffs and stuff like that too. So just a rough day for Boeing. So I would expect some more follow through the downside on that one going into tomorrow. May come back, even test the bottom of the cloud here. But I do like how the moving averages start to curl their way up. It's lost the luster of its breakout from last time, but still a decent gap up today on Boeing. Tesla. So Tesla's still hanging in there inside day today. Still tight. Still getting really, really tight in here, right? So we're going to wait for some volume and a breakout candle on this one to see if we work its way back up to these levels here. So it didn't help that SpaceX didn't launch the other day, but it is what it is. It's not Tesla, and they'll probably try to launch again, maybe even this weekend if the weather's good. And JP Morgan, yep, so a lot of the banks pulled back. A lot of the banks pulled back today. So that's one of the key things, right? You always want to check if you gap above a prior day's high, right? You got to watch out because you might get that whoops reversal back into it, right? And so that's a Larry Williams concept that we've talked about before, right? So try to gap above it. Once it got to the prior day's high, right? You got that momentum move back down, and it just stayed in the low end of its 15 more range today. So it might get some downside follow through tomorrow, and you got an open gap below on JP Morgan. Good stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. Austin, what's going on? If you haven't got to it by this point, could you talk through the SPY play you mentioned over lunch today? Yeah, so at lunch today we looked at this. So SPY, I mean, it was tricky, right? I mean, this is like scalp city, right? But there is a chance, right? There is a chance. So when these things happen, so pretty cool stuff, right? So we were able to get an entry long in this area right here. So what we really liked was the consolidation that we saw here today. Right? You can see pre-market. Right, we had a nice triangle set up right here, and we wanted to get this breakout right here. Okay, so so it was tough, right? Because when you get into this range, right, you got to be careful, right? Because there's also this, right? There's also even though you're breaking out of a triangle, there is still potential resistance, especially in the after hours pre-market zone. Looks like it's a little bit clearer on the futures chart, but that was the idea right here. We wanted to take this long right here. Ended up working its way up pretty nicely here, following the ADMA up and getting its move up here. So it was a triangle breakout. And it was tricky, but it gave a decent move this morning. Yeah, my pleasure. Anki, what's going on? Good evening, BH. What are your thoughts on BA? Yeah, so BA again, same thing, right? So breaking down after market here, after hours. Again, they're starting to manufacture an airplane that nobody wants and nobody's going to buy right now, and so it's like gap fade, right? And then of course with the layoffs and all that stuff, just shows that they're really just struggling, and it's just crazy. I mean, I'm sure they're eventually going to go for a bailout, and so will the airlines and all that stuff. So we'll see how that all ends up playing out. I mean, the economy's a mess, guys, but how this market is holding up the way it is amazing, right? We had worse job numbers than expected. GDP was worse. Beige Book was all negative, right? I mean, the economy, it's just rough, right? But the market's still hanging in there, right? So the lunch protection team going to keep buying as long as they can. So until everybody just starts selling and they can't buy it fast enough. But is what it is. So we just continue to follow the waves, ride the waves. So Roku, good one. So Roku, has been breaking down, but it's been breaking down out of its trend box into some crazy support areas. A rising 50-day, the cloud. It was a thin cloud, and that was basically some levels of concern that we had for the for a real good short on Roku, and it did bounce, right? It did bounce today. In fact, it had relative strength today. And let's see if that can hold into tomorrow. But we'll keep an eye on it, see if it gets some follow through tomorrow. In fact, we'll put it on the long radar end tomorrow. Okay, and we'll put BA on the short radar. All right, good. And Facebook, let's take a look. Yep, so Facebook pulled back a lot here, right? It's got two bump lines off of an upward trend line, right? We had an upper shadow today below the bump. And on this particular method here, and we're below the ADMA. So big upper shadow today. See if it does get weak and wants to pull back based on the. It's up after hours. Twitter's up after hours, even after the social media attack. So we'll see how that goes into tomorrow. But if things are bullish tomorrow, right, this could be a great buy the dip opportunity. Disney. So they're opening some theme parks, right, in July, right, and this is gonna be a phase. It's going to be phased, right? So we're probably going to have to wear masks, get temperature checks and all that stuff, right? And just rough, right? So it's recovered pretty decently from the Corona crash. But again, pullback today, got back to the double inside day levels, filled the gap. So let's see how it holds there. See how it holds at ADMA going into tomorrow. And then JP Morgan, yeah, great stuff, guys. I like how you're all looking at the same stuff. I mean, these are great trading names, and and pretty clear right here. Right? We got dark cloud cover today. I mean, technically it's not dark cloud because it was a red candle yesterday, but it was bullish the last couple days, and we're seeing a pullback right there. And if the market's weak tomorrow, it might pull back and try to fill that gap below. So it could be good. Gregory, good evening. What's going on? Good to see you. Well, it's still afternoon there, right? Just kidding. So that's awesome, man. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. J Moss, evening. Yeah, FXI. So your China large caps. So this is definitely a good one to keep an eye on, right? Because we've got one internet stuff, right, and we got China tensions, and we've got a White House meeting conference, press conference tomorrow about China. Definitely one to keep an eye on going in tomorrow. So we'll see what that does. I'll also keep an eye on Baba and Baidu. SPCE, inside day. Now I see a little pullback off of yesterday's candle. Again, this is a tricky one, guys. This is kind of a drama stock. They don't really do anything or make anything or make money or anything, but it's fun to trade sometimes. So, but it comes with that type of risk, right? You don't have a lot of institutional support. So it did pull back a little bit. Inside day, it's holding the 80 MA in the bottom of the cloud. So see if we can hold that. Otherwise, break down below a couple of these levels right here. Could see a push down on the 200-day moving average. Good stuff in GTYH. All right, yeah, so that nice little move right there. So we looked at it yesterday, good candle, right? And got some follow through the upside here, and I like how it got to the 50-day, a little upper shadow off of that, but nice follow through on that one. Very, very nice. Good job. Jay, what's going on? Hello, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Dazzling Sensation, what's up? Let's go with CMG. Yeah, have a little taco tonight, little burrito. Oh yeah, well look at that bearish engulfing candle at the fib fan line. Got some follow through the downside. Right now it's kind of dojing right here, right below the upper trend line at the 80 MA. So again, a breakdown below these levels right here, this 988-ish level right here, could see a move down, fill the gap, and a possible shot at the 21 moving average. Good. And shop? Shop, guys. Upper shadow today off of the 80 MA and back into a little support zone right there. But you gotta love it, right? That harmonic reversal off of the crab pattern right there. The 3.618 extension. It's like, how high can it go? How about 3.618 from this leg right here? And it sure did, right? And pulled back off of it. Tried to do a little bit of a move today, right? So it tried to get a decent reversal at the open. Again, tech was strong at the open. You know, rotation into tech this morning. I mean, a lot of candles like Nvidia, Apple, I think even Tesla, right? This morning. I mean, a lot of tech names, like NASDAQ names, were really strong this morning, right? And it got a little push up there, but it just couldn't hold. And it's kind of drifted back after hours. So see if it kind of breaks down. Again, another key level is going to be this low right here. But so far, it's kind of holding that area. It's back in the trend box. So good. Google. So Google, you know, down a little bit. Google's so tough to trade, guys. Just really seriously, the spreads are rough, and the option spreads are rough too. But it did pull back. Okay, you know, upper shadow right here at this breakdown level, and it pulled back off of that today. Finally, right? I mean, it was just like relentlessly bullish all day, and you finally got some follow through here to the downside. So let's see. It's kind of right at the 80 MA, you know, holding the 80 MA still. So kind of see how that holds going into tomorrow. Baba again, yep, that's gonna be on the radar here for the China talk tomorrow. So inside day, so watch for an inside day breakdown for a possible push down on the 200 moving average. And Nvidia, yep, tried to be strong today too, and then left an upper shadow, but it's still holding its upward trend line, right? It's kind of hanging out there after hours as well too. It's kind of chopping around here, but big push at the open on Nvidia, held the 15-orb high until the news came out today, until the tweets came out today, like everything else. And then Calm, yeah. So Calm, what a move today, guys. You know, big activity on the big volume, big option activity on it today, and a beautiful candle here with huge volume as it broke out over the cloud. So definitely want to keep an eye on going into tomorrow as well. It is should be on the radar. I'm going to put it on the radar for tomorrow too. Good. Beautiful, great charts. And yeah, my pleasure. Matthew, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in, man. Hope you're doing well. Alan, what's going on? W Day. Let's take a look at W Day. So W Day, yeah, pretty good move there after earnings, right? Nice gap up here, kind of holding these levels, right? Remember we talked about gaps, right? How they like to fill the gaps on gaps. And so let's see if we can continue to see if it defends this gap here and continues to work its way up. Good stuff. Brian, what's going on? Tesla. Yeah, so inside day today. So getting really tight in this macro triangle range. So let's see if we can give us a move one way or the other with some volume. It'd be great. Beautiful stuff. Heather, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Apple. Oh, I know Apple was beautiful. Y'all did so good on this one today. Great job. I know, just an incredible move here. Look at that. Y'all nailed it this morning. Just a great move through, you know, major pre-market levels, right? Pre-market box, after hours levels, right? Got back up, boom, and gave a great move to the upside. And then, you know, if you hold your runners, right? Nice move here, nice little bull flag, back to the 80 MA, and then just plowed its way, continued to work its way back up, stayed over the 80 MA the whole time, right? And then tried to get strong again, and then the tweets came out, and then see ya, right? So, but what a great move this morning. That's a beautiful move on that one. I was hoping it would stay that way, you know, so we could have a nice green candle here to try to get to those all-time highs. And now it's like with the futures down, well, futures are back down to only 11 right now, so who knows? We'll probably be green tomorrow morning. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, great job on that one today. Fantastic. Let's see if we can get over these levels, over today's high. Good. ZK, DFS. Yeah, so a little bit of fall through the upside today. So nice candle right here. Tried to get above the cloud, couldn't quite do it, right? So left with an upper shadow right there below the cloud. So so just keep an eye on it, see if it holds that, see if it holds today's lows. If not, it might start to work its way back. And if the financials stay weak, it might try to work on that gap fill below. Mark, yep. So we had talked about this the other day, right? So big push up here, waiting for a pullback in. We got a big one here today. So something to keep on the radar for a potential more downside movement if it wants to be weak tomorrow. Okay. Good. CLSN. Double inside day. So looking good. Getting tight in here. Triangle type pattern. See if we can get a breakout one way or the other on that one. LL. Oh yeah, big move up here after earnings, right? Lumber liquidators, big push, right? Couldn't get over these levels and gave you a reversal candle today. So if it breaks down below these lows, you got a good shot at that gap fill below. And then Twitter, it's actually up after hours, if you can believe it. So up a little bit. So this is one that held on just barely, right? Just stayed in the 15-orb range, right? So we had some alerts on this one too, but we were hoping it would close below the 15-orb low, then we could look to swing that down. But right now, upper shadow, we'll see how it goes. We'll look at the price action tomorrow to see what kind of setup we get tomorrow. But yeah, definitely want to keep on the radar with the whole social media attack today. Gunga Din, what's going on? Day trading system for NQ, make 1,000 daily. Woo! Cool on, what's going on? Good to see you. Jay, Pool. Nice one. Nice gap up there, upper shadow right there. Pool Corp. You got... Just may as well call it Cool Corp. Yeah, I like it. Nice upper shadow right there. And you see how that goes. It breaks down those lows. Might feel like gap below. MNSD Monster. Definitely working on a decent uptrend right here, right? So we've got a high here. Oh, sorry guys. There. Yeah, so holding trend really well, holding the ADMA. See if it continues to hold this trend. Bullish still proving otherwise. Pill. What a pill. So pharma ETF, I like it. So see if we can get above the 200-day moving average right now. So it's getting tight, kind of range bound in this area. I like how it's contained by the 200. See if we break above that in the cloud for a movement to the upside. Need. Yep. Nice pop to the upside right there. A little bit of a red hammer type move. So see how that goes. Hammer time. And then hero. I think you're just finding tickers that are words. I love it. Inside day on the video, but yeah, the video game sector was pretty strong today too. So I like it. So eSport ETF. So yeah, inside day today, big volume yesterday, and so see how that inside day holds at the ADMA. I love it. Cool on ZS earnings after hours. Boom! Look at that, up to 89 right there. So wow, hello. Let's see if we can get a real key thing to look at tomorrow, guys, for a potential gap and go on ZS, right, is what? That we get above 89.54 and that we get above our after-hours pre-market box levels. Okay, that's how to get that gap and go. Right now, that 90.84 is still service resistant, but a huge move to the upside. Beautiful. I love how it takes us right there. So keep an eye on it for a potential gap and go tomorrow. Nice find. And then CRM earnings as well. Yeah. Almost looks like a Morningstar reversal, except it's in the course of an uptrend. But down a little bit after hours, but barely getting below yesterday's lows. So potential reversal quality on that one, but careful with that one. The options really get a little bit all over the place intraday. So did Vive. Vive is like, what is it? I think they only have like monthly still, and the spreads are pretty nasty. But this thing, once it gets in an uptrend, can go, and you saw that happen right there. Morningstar reversal again in the course of an uptrend, so not really a Morningstar reversal. And no real movement here after hours, so just kind of choppy on that one. But don't forget Costco tomorrow, too. I'm sure somebody's going to ask about it. Anki, what's going on? What are the best moving averages for reversal, trend, and trend confirmation? What are the moving averages you use for daily, weekly, and monthly? Yeah, so the big ones here, right, you want to use your Fibonacci ones. I use the exponentials, right? So you've got your ADMA. That's the blue one right here. That's the best one for holding trend, right? It really is. Just for short-term time frame holding trend, right? And then you can go to the 21 to look for potential support. The 50 and the 200 are kind of your macro ones, right? Those are not Fibonacci's. Right, but they're significant ones that algos like to use. And these are simple moving averages, right? So we like to see them all above each other to show that the trend is going, right? Of course, they're just averages, right? They're not really saying anything, although algos do trade off and traders trade off of them. So, but they're just a representation of what price is doing and has done, or not what it's doing, what it's done in the past, right? So the weekly chart, we like to look at the 30 weekly moving average. That's a good change of composure line right there. And the monthly chart, the only moving average I really care about in the monthly is the 50. because that's really the bull and bear market line in the sand. And I do look at the 20, which is your mid Bollinger Band right there. I like to see what how the monthly behaves on the Bollinger Bands. Good stuff. Do you use different moving average for different time frames? Yeah, absolutely. But on the 15-minute time frame, I like the ADMA. It's just a great, for whatever trend you're looking for, that ADMA is really good for that that intermediate trend. So good stuff. Yeah, and for reversals, right, you just want to see them start to cross over, right, for basically confirmation of reversal. Good stuff. Micah, what's going on? Tesla. So inside day today on Tesla, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that one to see if it breaks to the upside or downside. We're going to look for some volume on that. Apple, beautiful move up this morning, a little bit of an upper shadow today, but we'll see what it has in store for tomorrow. If we can get over today's highs, right, we might get over those levels and try to push up to all-time highs. And then beyond. Inside day today, wow, still kind of in this this box right here, kind of this rally zone. So let's see how it holds. This one broke under the 21 EMA. So here you go, NK. This is a great example, right? Once we broke below the 8-day and the 21-day, right? Watch out, right? Change your composure, okay? Because it might want to target the next move, the major moving average below is 200 right there. Okay, so good stuff. Just helps you give a picture of what's going on. It's just not that you necessarily need to trade off of it, but it does give you a good perspective of what the market's doing. But again, everything comes down to price, time, and volume, ultimately, and that's what all indicators are derived from. So good stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. Rich, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you are well. Whoa, we got some fun gaming ones here tonight. So we got Penn, a little bit of fall through the upside today, but back in that range. So we kind of see how that holds that range here, right? So we're still range bound on that. And then DKNG. Wow. Lots of upside and lots of downside today on this one, right? So, but a fun, people are really liking to trade this one these days. So big volume today, lots of volume coming in this one. Big upper shadow right here, right? It's starting to move a little bit more on news recently, right? So we had this the other day, right? With the, their conference, right? Have a special guest conference there and all that. And then decent move, decent follow through here on this one. So see how it holds. Big upper shadow right here. But and a big range to deal with, but definitely want to keep an eye on the hot new stock. Michael Phillips, what's going on? Good to see you. Nvidia, yep. Pullback today, big upper shadow, but holding the upper trend line. Still holding the upper trend line. So see how that holds going into tomorrow. And also the semiconductors boost, very very strong at the open. I know. What's up with the China press conference? I know. I'm sure it's gonna be really positive, right? I'm sure it's gonna be super duper positive. Right? Corona's done. Back to trade war drama. Gregory, what's going on? Yeah, let's take a look at D-Dog. D-Dog. All right, so D-Dog here, upper shadow off of today. But still holding its earnings gap. Right? So let's see if we can get back up to that ADMA and try to work its way back up there. So that would be good. Yeah, it just had such an epic run up. It was a grind. But it just kept on going, and then it had earnings, and then it just kept on, just a beautiful parabolic move. But it's holding those levels pretty well. It looks like this is its new kind of area. Okay, Twitter. We'll continue to look at that one too. Nasty pullback here. It's below the ADMA, but it's actually up a few cents after hours. So we'll see what type of effect this social media executive order, how it ends up playing into things right there. But hopefully they'll stay in business. SWN pullback right there under the ADMA. Again, interesting there on the Southwestern Energy. A little bit of pullback, even though the rest of the utilities have been pretty good there too. So right there between the 8 and the 21. Let's see how that goes. Drew, what's going on? Back again. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for tuning back in. Lake. Great day yesterday, and then a nice follow through today. And then it got right where we wanted to get to, right to the 50-day moving average and right back off of that. So here we are just kind of chopping around in this range. But earnings coming up pretty soon. But this thing's a crazy one. This thing can move around. Okay, so good candle yesterday, volume, nice follow through. It's a good day to take a little profit on an overnight. And then Tractor Supply. So great candle yesterday, and a little bit of follow through today, and kind of back in the range a little bit. Still holding the upper end of that range. So let's see how that can hold. Oz, what's going on? LT, can you take a look at MA? Yeah, let's take a look at MA. MasterCard. Yeah, it's a decent little push up right here today off of these levels, but couldn't hold, so it's kind of back in that range, still holding the ADMA. But generally still bullish, still proven otherwise here. Good stuff. Let's see if I can get going. New base player, what's going on? Yeah, Tesla inside day, so we're going to take a look and see if we break out of the higher lows of that one way or the other. Jay, really look at these tickers, and who better to ask than you, my good man? I know, exactly. You can rearrange them and make some pretty funny sentences with it, too. Need pill. Hero. you know? Hero, need pill. So funny. Good stuff. Ankit, yeah, my pleasure. Kev, yeah, DKNG, crazy. With DKNG, right? So a really epic move since its IPO. Really has been, kind of plowing its way up there. So definitely want to look for bullish setups, right? I mean, it's definitely uptrending here. It's almost getting parabolic. But who knows? Maybe we can get up to 300 like a Tilray or something like that. That'd be cool. YouTube day. YouTube Uday. Inside day on MU. MU is one of the most frustrating ones to trade. It really is. Look what it did here. Big candle. Inside day, and then down. Look at that. Big candle, inside day, and hopefully not down. It's right at the cloud right here. So let's see if we continue to hold that and then try to get back above the 200-day. It's a frustrating part about ones like this, right? I mean, it still had some levels to get above. That was the one thing that I had to hesitate about the other day, was this, going into these levels, because it wasn't really breaking out of the range, but it was such a nice candle and great volume intraday on that one yesterday. Look at that. I mean, how do you not get follow-through on that? It's crazy. Especially with upgraded guidance. I mean, just the fundamentals of it, right? It's like they upped their guidance. It's like fundamentally it's good. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on it here, see how that inside day holds. Hopefully it'll break to the upside. But yeah, nasty day with the rest of the market pulling back today too. Annoying, but Snap's a good one to keep on the radar. Big candle right here. It looks like it's trying to break out. Right, we got this cup handle, so it's trying. Let's see if we can get over like that 1850 area, and then maybe it'll try to work its way up to 19. Snap's a tricky little one, but decent strength today. Michael, CGC. Yep. So CGC. What is going on there? Whoa. All right, so CGC, yeah, good follow through today in the pot sector. So this is one we looked at too at the open. We kind of pointed out its strength. Wow, incredible follow through on this one. So good move. Right, still in the context of an uptrend, right? So, continuation day. Okay, strong. And why would we look at it as a continuation day? Why wasn't this a continuation day? Why wasn't this a continuation day? Look at the opening candle. It was bearish, right? Or undecided. It was red, doji, right? This one, green, strong. Next one, green, strong. Push. Is it going to go straight up? Not necessarily. Did it pull back? Yeah, but where did it pull back to? It pulled back to the 15-orb high. And now it's up after hours. Beautiful stuff. Continuation of trend. GE. Wow, breaking down 2 after hours too. It looks a lot like Boeing. Let's look at the daily chart. Yeah, nasty bearish engulfing candle today. Ugh. Keep an eye on GE on the short side. Good gravy. Nasty as a candle. It's coming into a big bow tie of moving averages, so might find some nasty annoying support in there, but nasty candle today. Big pullback on GE. And Roku, nice bounce today. Relative strength on that one for whatever reason, right? It had the upper shadow yesterday. Couldn't get through that thin cloud. So just, again, see if it breaks down below today's lows. If it does, then we might see a big flush to the downside. It's got an open gap below. And then Zumba. Nice move at the open today, too. Right? Strong. Held the 15 moving average. Did it bounce up? No, it didn't. It pulled back down. Is it in the context of an uptrend? Not really. It's in the context of a trend breakdown. Right? It does have like this kind of macro geometric moving average right here, but it's still kind of in the recent up move breakdown level. So that's what we're seeing there. Cortez, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. DXCM. Oh, we got CGC earnings tomorrow. I did take another look at that. Inside day here on Dexcom. Yep, so we keep an eye on that one, see if it breaks down below those lows. And then ANTM. Upper shadow right there, so just be careful with that a little bit. See if that breaks down. Micro Lulu. Yeah, nice follow through today. Again, great breakout over these levels right here. And today got a nice push at the open. Right, nice continuation. And then, of course, down with the rest of the market there when all the tweets started coming out. And then CGC. Oh my goodness, we have earnings tomorrow. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, wow, drifting up into earnings tomorrow. Cool. That is awesome. I'm going to add that to the 15 orb list for tomorrow. Wow, so many decent earnings going into Friday tomorrow. It's great stuff. Thanks for reminding me on that one. Perfect find. Good. Kev, VTIQ. Yeah, still hanging in there. Crazy stock, right? But inside day so far. A little bit of pullback here today. See how it holds that inside day level and if it breaks out one way or the other. Cool. Good stuff, guys. Well, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Awesome discussion this week on day trading, the power of trend. And hope you guys found it helpful. I hope you guys find the chart discussions helpful as well. And good. Oh, we got Tracy tuned in here. We got UAL. Let's take a look. Yeah, UAL again. Tracy, earlier we were talking about sector rotation back out of these and into tech this morning. So we did see pullbacks in the airlines and pullbacks in the banks today, and it makes sense too, right? I mean, 'cause it's just kind of rallying on hype. That's the one thing about trading, that as much as you want to trade technical, right? Sometimes it does help to know the context of each of the stocks that's out there, of the news and all that. So a little bit of pullback there. I might pull back again some more to test those moving averages below, and then INO again. Inside day here, kind of hanging in there a little bit. So see if we can get back above the 80 MA here. And again, it's still in the context of this this larger triangle. Tried to break out here, failed. So let's see if we can break out above those and try to work. So break down below these lows, though, might come back and eventually kind of come down and test that cloud. So good. And then, yeah, JMOS, yeah, so the trend box, if you go back on Monday's one, we could do that. You'll see more examples of that. And then, of course, the 3-minute video that we have on the YouTube. But one of the things we'll just look at right here. So what you do is, right, we put the trend box on it. It just helps us. It's just a strategy I came up with just on trend line breakdown. Because all it's doing is highlighting when the trend lines change, right? So here we broke down out of these, right? We had our first breakdown out of the upward trend line right here, okay? So that signifies I don't want to get short necessarily on the first trend line breakdown. I want confirmation or a push through those levels. So what I do is I go to the recent highs, right? And I go to that level right there to form the trend box, okay? So that's the level, because the idea is as long as we stay within the context of this first breakdown candle, we haven't really changed trend yet, right? There's no confirmation. We're just kind of in the neutral zone, right? In the trend box. We just don't know yet, right? We don't know what trend we're in yet. If it's trying to change trend or if it's just pausing a little bit, right? So if we were to break out above these highs before we broke down, let's say we pushed up here, then I would just put the trend line back on it, and then I would know exactly where our trend is, right? But right now we're in an indecision period, and then the next day we broke down below it, and then we flushed below it there. So clearly the trend has decided to change. We got confirmation out of the upper trend line, and now we're in a downtrend for Netflix, right? Until it breaks out above that, forms a trend box, and works its way back up. But definitely check out the 3-minute trend line video. Really, really cool stuff. Mike, what's going on? My pleasure, man. Thank you. Michael, thank you. So yeah, check out those vids. Yeah, definitely. If you go to my 3-minute series playlist, if you go to YouTube and click on playlists and go to the 3-minute series, technical analysis in less than 3 minutes, the trend line is the first one. And if you go back to any of my Saturday posts, I always post because it's such a powerful video. Really, really good stuff. So good. All right, guys. Well, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Awesome discussion this week. Tomorrow's Friday, the last day of the week, the last trading day of the month. So I hope everybody has a great one. Futures probably up 20 points right now. Down 13. They're just chopping around. Gregory, thank you so much. Have a great night. Kev, thank you so much. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Have a great Friday, everybody. Have a great trading day. We'll catch you guys on Sunday night with some new topics, and then we'll have another great week next week. And so I really want to thank everybody again for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great night. Thanks again for your support. Oh, be sure to click subscribe on YouTube if you're new here. And also hit the notification button so you can get alerted when we do put a new video out there. We do 3 videos every day. We do the Good Morning Market Prep, we do the Lunchtime Market Update, and the Daily Market Wrap, where we go over what's going on in the market. We take chart requests for lunchtime. So definitely click that. The link to the Twitter page is in the YouTube description and our website. So everybody have a great night. Thanks again. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe.